What's happening, everybody? Sorry I'm late. Easier moderation. Cool. Live. Check. Hey, John. Hope everybody's all right tonight. Let a few people get on. Invite, invite, invite. Hey, Tom. Everybody's starting to pile in. My day was long. I slept all day, or not all day, off and on. I had to work. That's what I did this morning. I went in really early and worked for about 8 hours, and then came home or went to the in-laws to eat, and then fell asleep at the in-laws after I ate, and then we had to leave, and Michelle had a few things to do, so I fell asleep while she was driving, and then when she got where she was going, I fell asleep again. I haven't been sleeping that much here lately. I've been running on like literally 35, 40 minutes a night of sleep. Turn my sound down, see how I can get all that bothersome crap. Hey, Melissa. Howdy. Y'all go invite for me. Let everybody know we're on. I sent out a few. It was funny. I had Tom pulled up. I had you pulled up, Tom, to tell you that we were live, and I looked up and you were already on, so I didn't send it. Baby, where is everybody? I think I saw on the group chat that Donna's not going to be here tonight. I think I'm Cat. Got a pretty cool show tonight, y'all. She was having issues. Yeah, I saw that. Volume was much better on my phone. Good, I'm glad. Nice earmuffs. Thank you. You like my earmuffs? keep trying to get them to connect to my phone, but they won't do it. Got to figure out what's wrong. How's everybody week go this week? Everybody have a good week? We're going to talk about the events that's coming up. We got the class coming up. Um, hey, Katie. Katie's here, y'all. We're going to talk about some investigations we got coming up. And then I want to get on topic tonight with, I want to talk a little bit, something that's been y'all know I'm working to further my education, even though I've been in this for as long as I have. You can still learn, especially in this field. There's always something new that you can learn. And so I'm always learning. What the crap? Go away. Hold on. All right, there we go. Busy Mac wrapped up Magic City Con and then work. Yeah, no doubt. You guys did have a super busy week, and then you got to top it off with an awesome birthday week or weekend. Y'all, I hope everyone was able to make it to John's birthday weekend. His party last night. I wanted to go so bad, I just couldn't go. I just flat out couldn't go. It sucked. But he was sending me little videos. He was teasing me with drinks and songs and stuff like that. So, do you want to show Melissa's texts or message? Sure, let's show Melissa's message. Last night sucked bad. Somehow I got a freaking stomach bug and it put me on my ass. Oh, bless your heart. Summertime sick is like the worst sick ever. People always talk about it. So it sucks so bad to get like the flu in the wintertime. The worst time to get sick to me is in the summer. We're supposed to be in Iowa right now. Unfortunately, we haven't left yet. Damn, you're still fighting that crap, Katie. Bless your heart. Y'all know you guys were fighting crap at me. I know you guys wanted to be way, way, way out of there, like just a couple of days ago, right? Like a few days ago. But I'm sorry. You and Melissa both, man. Melissa's fighting stomach bug, and you're fighting bronchitis, and you're fighting bronchitis, and it's keeping you from going to see your family. That sucks. I am so sorry. Yeah, we'll add Katie and Melissa to our prayers. So, CAPI family, let's pray for Melissa and Katie until feel better, so that Melissa can continue uh, enjoying the summer, and so Katie can go see her family. What we're going to talk about tonight, we're going to talk about the events coming up, the class. We have a few contests going on with the class. Y'all know when I do a class, we usually throw in a couple of contests and some incentives and stuff like that. You know, incentives to take the class. Some investigations coming up, and how we're going to tie the last class and this class together as far as the investigation and certificate issue. And then I want to talk about something that I've been studying and really kind of getting my teeth into the meat of is the paranormal, the effects of the occult on the paranormal. started around the late 40s, early 50s, went on into the 60s, exploded in the mid to late 60s. Um, nuclear explosion in the 70s. Started dying down in the 80s, but it's starting to make a comeback, and it's kind of it's starting to become an issue again. I think it'll always rear its head within the paranormal, the occult, and um, phantasms and stuff like that will always rear their head into our beloved research field. But luckily, there's people like us that are out there that dispel it and keep our field going. So it's gonna be an interesting talk. So you guys put on your thinking caps after we get through discussing upcoming events and everything. Um, and oh, sorry, keep kicking this thing, and we'll definitely go over that. All right, let me catch up here. Let me see where we're at. I won't. It won't be the last karaoke night we do. It was incredible. I got free shots for the majority of the night. Awesome, free shots. Hell yeah! I should have come and told them it was my birthday. I will listen in the class if okay, just reinforce. Yes, Tom, that's fine. Anybody that's already taken the class, if you want to just kind of sit in on it, that's fine. I never have a problem with that. There's no charge for that or anything. I just ask that you don't answer questions and stuff like that because that's part of the way when we're doing the class via internet instead of live. I don't like doing the class via the internet, but I just don't have a choice because people from far off want to take the class. Uh, and I want to be able to still do the class, but they can't come to me. So unfortunately, we have to take what we can get. So the only reason I don't like doing it because last time we did the class on Skype, it worked out beautifully. It went way above. Um, Hello, Shana. I hope I'm saying Shana Coiner. Hi, new to the group. Absolutely. Thank you for joining us. Seeing how you're new, Shana. I hope I'm saying that right. Tell me if I'm not. But seeing how you're new, if you would go hit that subscribe button. And sorry, there's a gnat around me. Go hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell so you'll know when we are on. And we're on every Sunday night at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. And then we sometimes throw some extra shows in there in the mix too, which I think is one coming up this week. I think. So y'all make sure you pay attention to the page because we may do an extra show this week. Let me catch up here. I can't do anything. I try and get up to do stuff to pack and get ready, but I end up having another coughing spasm. I have to go back to bed. Mason has been a great help and has been doing the laundry. Oh, I'm glad you got him there, man. That's awesome. Dang it, Katie. You need to feel better, girl. She is registered for the next class. Who is registered for the next class? Shayna? Oh, already done. Thank you for if you're speaking of hitting the subscribe button and everything. Thank you for that, Shayna. I really appreciate that. Um, so, seeing how we're kind of bringing up the class, let's bring that up real quick. The class. I don't like doing it online, like I said, because I like to be more intimate whenever I'm teaching it. I like to be able to see the people's faces, see that they're participating, and all that. So, the reason that's the reason why we chose Skype, because Skype I can go to the people that are taking the class and bring them up. That's why I have to tell y'all, when if you're going to take the class, you have to have a camera and let me see you on Skype. So don't be in your underwear taking the class. Okay, it's not one of those online classes. It's one of those that we can actually see you. Okay, and so you don't have to be on camera the entire class. Just if I call on you or speak to you or whatever, I want you to jump in front of the camera and say hi. And I don't care what you wear. You can wear your pajamas. Don't wear your underwear, but because nobody wants to see that. But you can wear your pajamas. You can wear your work clothes. You can wear your I'm lounging around the house and I don't give a crap clothes. It doesn't matter. Whatever. So I do want to do an investigation. Grady Hospital fell through. I'm sorry, Tom. That happens, man. Unfortunately. But speaking of hearing anything, let me see if I can get these going. I am cooked. Yeah, I saw you said you got sunburned. That sucks, man. Sunburn hurts. It hurts a lot. Um, excuse me. All right, I'm gonna have to doctor these things. Anyway, you ever feel like there's a spider web on your face and you can't get it? It's just driving me nuts. I just feel like I walked into a spider web when I was walking up our walkway to the house, the sidewalk to the house. I just felt like I don't know, but I can't feel it, and it's not there, and it doesn't come off. And it's driving me crazy. The bugs are on me, man. But because Skype worked out so amazing last time, we're going to do it again, and it's going to yes, welcome back, Donna. I keep getting kicked out. I'm sorry, Melissa. I don't know why. It must be on your end, your service. Um, got burnt in 2 hours. Bless your heart. Um, but it worked out great, man. It went above and beyond my expectations. I really thought we was going to have a lot more trouble out of it than we did. We did have a couple of glitches in the very beginning, but they didn't last long and they were easy to correct. Um, I'm confident that I can do it, you know, and if I'm confident I can do it on technology, then it's got to be super simple. I promise you, because I am technologically ignorant. I'm not even ignorant. I'm ignorant. Okay, you hear me? I'm bad. So I had to be taught how to use a telephone. When I first got my phone, they were showing me all this stuff to do it. I said, "Can I make a phone call?" That's what I can. I just make a phone. I can go online. I can Google. I can FaceTime. I can all this stuff I can do on this phone. And it's like, can I make a phone call? Can I make a phone? That's all. Can I make a phone call? That's why I got a phone, was to phone call. But yeah, I'm pretty dumb when it comes to that stuff. But yeah, so none of the issues were above my head the last time. So I'm super confident they will work out again. Um, so now the way we're going to mesh the two classes from the last class and this one, I hope to have this last class done and everybody passed and over with and investigation done and certificates issued and all that stuff way before another class came along. But unfortunately, with lack of funding, we were unable to get a site, approved site for uh, this. Sorry, for that first class to do an investigation. So what we're going to do is we're going to put both classes together in one investigation. So it's got to be a big place. I'm still looking for that. It's going to happen though. Don't worry about it. I did kind of step off from kind of working on a little bit because I knew we were going to have this next class, and so I said let's do them all together. And it's going to happen if I have to bring everybody to my house and we investigate Toby. But it's going to happen regardless. So I'm tired of waiting. But okay, Donna, that's fine. Just coordinate with John with that. Yeah, the class did go very, very well. But yeah, so we're going to mesh the classes together. We're going to do one investigation where everybody can come. Oh, those that can, those that can't can do. They're going to do live. And I even have a way to where I'm going to say like, who's somebody that's way off? Katie is way off. She's in Texas, and Tom's in Atlanta. Donna's in Kentucky. I mean, she's not as far as Katie, but anyway, y'all know what I mean. People that are way off, like say Donna in Kentucky or Katie in Texas, you're way, way, way off. You can't make it here. Completely understandable. What we're going to do is I'm going to have a live feed of myself doing the investigation, and you are going to have the opportunity to join me live. And those of you that can't make it to the class are going to have the opportunity to join me live, and then we're going to go through the investigation together, where I give you the chance to take over the investigation from me, basically. So it's gonna work out. I think that's gonna happen. It sucks if I can't have you there, so try your best to be at this investigation. I don't care if you live in Timbuktu. You try your best to be at this investigation, because that's the best way to do it. It's hands on, face to face, eye to eye. So, but we will work that out. I'm too good at my job. Yeah, he is. Well, he's doing it. We might have to have two separate classes. I don't know if we can get as many people as John has gotten interested in this class. I don't know if we can get that many people on Skype. I should be moving back to Bama between September and November. Yeah, we've heard that before, Donna. Woohoo, camping. Yes. We've got the camping. Thank you. I'm glad you said that. That's another event that we have coming up. We do have the camping. All right, here's what we're going to do with the camping. Camping is going to be probably, I'm thinking August, September. It'll still be warm enough, but the nights will start to get cooler in the mountains. That's what I'm looking forward to. We can do some in July if you want, but the September I can come. Cool. John as team leader would be great, right? But we'll have, the nights will be cool in late September, early August. I mean, late August, early September. They'll start to get cooler. Not here, but in the mountains they will. So, and our North Alabama trips are coming up. We want to plan those. Here's how we're going to do those. You're going to have two options on that. You're going to have Yeti or no Yeti, Squatch or no Squatch. The whole reason for doing these camping trips that we're going to do in North Alabama is so that for the people that want to can go and do some research on Sasquatch. We don't, y'all know CAPI doesn't cover Sasquatch and Yetis and Bigfoot and all that crap. But I just thought it would be fun to go and check out some places that he has been spotted, or it has been spotted, whatever you want to say, and see what kind of evidence we can come up with. And also see if we can debunk anything. So you never know. But it's going to be a lot of fun. But when we're not doing that, we'll be camping. I found a spot that's got a lake. It's got primitive camping. It's freaking gorgeous. I think I'm going to spend a lot of time there in the fall. It's just, I mean, it's immaculate. It's up in North Alabama. Cabin, I don't know. I think they may have some cabins, Tom, but are you going to sleep in a cabin for real? Might have to check your man card, Tom. Might have to check it. But we want to camp, and we want people to come. We want all the fans to come, you know, camping family to come and have a good time and just fellowship and just enjoy God and nature and just be there. You know what I mean? We can do some fishing. We can do some hiking. Of course, we're going to do the Bigfoot investigations and research. And we may even do some training while we're out there as well, some outdoor investigation training. So it's going to be a lot of fun. So you guys kind of look forward to that too. I'll hope to get out there a lot sooner than August and September and October probably. But for this, we're going to do it kind of probably mid to late August, early September. That way it's still warm. It's probably going to still be hot the way this year's been. but during the daytime. But we got a lake you can jump in, or whatever, and um, at night in the mountains it gets cold. It gets pretty cool. So you'll be probably even want to bring a couple of sleeping bags with you, or a couple of blankets, um, or your honey, so you can snuggle, whatever the case may be. But yeah, it's going to be kind of cold at night. Not cold, cold, but probably. I think in the let's see, I know Fort Payne to Coleman, and then Coleman up to Walker County, up past Jasper, up in that area. It gets in September, late August, September, early to mid September. It gets in the daytime it can hit 100 degrees, and at night it can drop to 40 in the mountains. So I mean, it's crazy weather, but it to me 50, 60, stuff like that. That's some great blanket weather. 40s is some great honey snuggling weather. So, and blankets and sleeping bags. But it's going to be a lot of fun, guys. It really is. So you guys, I hope everyone can come out there. I have enough as team manager currently, but thanks for the confidence, Tom. I spent 3 weeks in the jungle in North Vietnam. I think my card is secure. There you go, Tom. I think so. But you can't stay in a cabin. You can lose your man card from Vietnam. You can lose it if you stay in a cabin and we're in a tent. I'm just messing with you, buddy. You can stay wherever you want to. Y'all can bring the campers. I know there's campers hookups out there. I think there's cabins out there. John might have to comment on that. We kind of did a quick search of the area a couple weeks ago, and I don't remember if there were cabins or not. I know for a fact there's primitive because that was the whole reason why we looked it up. Well, the whole reason we looked it up is because it's an area that's had evidence and sightings of Bigfoot. But when we were doing the amenities search on it, we found that it did have primitive camping because that's all I'm interested in. Okay, thank you, John. Double check for us. Thanks, buddy. But it's you guys Google it, John. After you check, if you would pop up the name on there, because I always forget the name of this place for some reason. But you guys, he'll pop up the name in a minute, and you guys check it out, Google it, look at it. It's man, the country up there is freaking gorgeous, guys. It really is. It's amazing. So I know you guys will have a really good time. All right. CAPI has investigations coming up. Another thing that John has been doing besides getting marketing for the class and getting a roster ready for me and everything, he's also been working on doing investigations. That's his main function as a. Hold on, sorry. Sorry about that. The cat was about to knock over a glass dish. Um, name of place. He's going to throw it up here in just a second, Shayna. Um, he's going to double check the amenities and make sure there's cabins there. But it is beautiful, man, especially in the fall. Dear Lord. There it is. There's the link, you guys. Just pop on that link and it will take you to it. Let me take a look at it real quick. How do I? Oh, yeah. Never mind. I'm not stupid. Let's see. Of course, it's going to be slow just because I wanted to do this. Any other time it would pop right up. And I mean that literally too. It literally just popped right up. But just because I was talking about this, all right, there we go. All I wanted was the link. Bankhead National Forest. Thank you, John. I do not know what it is about the name of that place, but I can never remember it. You guys check that out. It's called Connected to Nature, their homepage, their website, I mean. It is freaking amazing. It is beautiful. It is inviting. I know we're going to have so much fun for those of us that make it. I know we're going to have a blast. I love to primitive camp. I haven't done so in years because I've been working. I do nothing but work. Y'all, I haven't had a day off since my last day off? Last Saturday. A week ago yesterday, I think. I don't think I worked last Saturday. But I worked Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And then I'm going to work Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So whatever that is. 25 days, 15 days, I don't know. But anyway, I'm taking not this coming weekend and not the next weekend, but the weekend after that. I'm taking off. But yeah, I've been going nonstop because we are not doing our fireworks stand this year. We're not going to be doing that anymore. We are retiring our fireworks stand. So I've had to work to make up the difference. So the Nun, is this where we talk about ghosts? Yes, this is where we talk about paranormal. The Nun, you can talk about anything in the paranormal. If you're a douche, then I could chop off your head fast. So it'd be nice. All right. So is there any questions on the class? Anybody have any questions on the class? If you do, just pop them up. If you want to get registered and you haven't gotten registered, pop them up. Yeah, I know. That's what I was fixing to do. Thank you, John. John is just like a little radar, man. He is like, the only thing different between him and radar is he's not little. John is not little. John is tall. John is strong. John is very scary, man. John is a very, very scary man. Very scary, man. I will make sure and bring tequila. You better bring some tequila. I know I will. I will have tequila and some other spirits with me as well. All right, the contest. We're going to do a contest for everyone who is registered for the class, even if you've already registered for the class. Everyone that has registered and has taken the class, there are cabins, correct? Yes, Katie. You and Tom can have cabins. I swear, you people. You north of the train tracks people. Not gonna hurt y'all to get in a tent. Rough it. I will share, Katie. Careful, Tom. Katie is a married lady. And her husband is very large, and he will break you very hard. But the contest. Yeah, I lost my train of thought. It's contest. It will be, what we're going to do is during lunch. So after everybody's registered and paid and done everything, during lunch, we're going to do two of the giveaways on the class. We're going to have 2 spots open. We're going to have one during lunch. Someone's going to win some door prizes. We're going to have door prizes as well. If you register for the class and take the class, you automatically get 10% off of everything in the merch, no matter what it is, and no matter how big the order is or how small the order is. Separate rooms. You know that ain't what you was talking about. You're lucky I didn't cut you off. But anything you want, small order, big orders, little order, whatever. Any order you do in the merch should be 10% off if you're in the class. Does that include my recent purchase? What did you recently purchase? I didn't know we had any recent purchases. PM me what you're talking about, Donna. Because I didn't know. Nobody tells me nothing. I'm just the boss. Yes, really, I didn't know you ordered anything. They don't tell me when people order stuff. They just do their jobs. A shirt and a CAPI puppet. Okay. Have you already paid and everything? If you have, it's being made right now, I promise you. Oh, you haven't paid? Yeah, we started this about, well, right whenever we was doing the transition between manufacturers. we don't order anything until it's paid now. The way we have to do it now is you order whatever it is you want, you pay for it, we take that money and we pay the manufacturer for it, and then the rest goes into the CAPI kitty, whatever's left over, which is usually not much, and the person makes it, and then they either ship it directly to you from them, or if it's more convenient, they'll ship it to us and we'll ship it to you. But we try our best to have them ship it to you. That way you only pay one shipping. Or one small shipping, instead of one large shipping. So that's how we do that. That's how everybody else does it. That's not how we were doing it. I was just letting people order stuff and then would get it. And I usually wound up paying for it, and then they would pay me back. But repeat, I didn't hear. What I was saying is if you haven't already paid for it, it hasn't been ordered yet. Because the only way for us to order it is for you to pay for it. So once you pay, if you put an order in, I'm sure Michelle has taken the order and has recorded it, but she will not order the item or items. She won't actually order them until it's paid. We had to do it that way. I've eaten so much merchandise. That's how we got the merchandise to the show. Basically, people were ordering stuff and I would just order it and pay for it. And then they'd say, oh, I can't get it now. So, I mean, some of it I ordered to have as show, but most of it was where I'd order stuff for people. But yeah. Okay, cool. She has your order. Cool. As soon as you pay for it, she'll send it right in. I promise you. It usually doesn't take more than a couple of days turnaround, but until it gets to the manufacturer. And then once she starts, how long it takes her to make it, how big the order is. So yes, Donna, that will count. But you're not taking the class. You've already taken the class. You can do the class again if you want, but you don't get the discount because you don't pay. You don't pay for the class. If you've already taken it, you can take it again, but you don't pay for it. But anyway, here's what we're going to do. We're going to have everyone who's in the class, you get 10% off. Boom. If you haven't already taken the class, if everyone that paid for the class, put it that way, you get 10% off on all merch. Big, no matter how big, little, small, whatever. Also, tonight we're giving away a seat in the class, a paid seat in the class. So if you got anybody that knows, you guys know anybody that wants to take the class. If you've already taken the class, you're not in the contest. But if you if you haven't taken the class, or you know someone who hasn't taken the class and they want to, but they don't want to pay $25, call them now, text them now, message them now, tell them get on right now, because we're in just a little while. We're going to give away a seat. All right. We're also at lunchtime. We're going to give away a seat. Um, no, I'm sorry. We're giving away a seat tonight, and at lunchtime we're giving away a few door prizes. That's the way it is. I'm sorry, because people have already paid for the class at lunchtime, and I ain't sending no money back to nobody. So Cappy's some greedy fools. Once we get money, we ain't giving it back. No, I'm just kidding. We have given money back for stuff, but um, uh, so is there any questions on that? I'm going to give you guys how long? I'm going to give you 30 minutes to get in touch with anyone you know that wants to take the class. You know what? You don't have to get them on here because that's kind of unfair, because it's kind of spare of the moment, or spare of the moment, spur of the moment. I can't talk tonight, you know. Go ahead, and if you know someone who wants to take the class, send their name. All right, just send their name. PM me their name. Don't put it on here on the page, on the live. Just PM it to me. Just give me their first name, and give me their first name and first letter of the last name. Like if you was talking about me, you would say Johnny R. All right, so send that to me. If you know anybody that wants to take the class, we're going to give it away. Um, we can give one seat away, and then during the class, we're going to give away some door prizes, like some merch and stuff. All right. All right. July 15th, CAPI meet and greet. Yes, July 15th is the CAPI meet and greet. Where's it gonna be, man? The place that we talked about in Wetumpka, neither one of those supplies Wi-Fi. The casino supplies Wi-Fi to guests, but not to patrons in the restaurant or whatever. But if you're at the resort, the hotel, you get it. But and I'm not going to rent a room just to get Wi-Fi. Those rooms are expensive. The Shoney's does not have Wi-Fi. They just remodeled and rebuilt, and I don't think they have everything in yet. So we need Wi-Fi. Where can we go between here and Birmingham that can handle 15, 20 people? I doubt that many will show, but we want to be set in case they do. They can handle 15 to 20 people and not, and also have Wi-Fi. So does anybody know of anything like that? Tom, do you know anything between here and Birmingham? John? I know John, me and him already been talking about it. We can do 2 events for the benefit. You mean do like a live event and then do like an online event? We can do that. Y'all, I got super excited whenever we come up with the sponsor program. And hey, Michelle, I can do the fundraiser then. I thought we were already going to do the fundraiser at the event, at the meet and greet. I'm confused. But I got excited when we come up with a sponsorship idea. I said, yeah, that's an awesome idea because I know people will do it and it'll help, and we can continue the show and everything like that. These if it's the class is going to help a little bit, but a lot of that we don't make any money off the class. Y'all don't seem to understand. We don't make anything off the class. Um, by the time we buy the certificates, uh, the paper, the ink, dear God, ink, um, the packets, all that stuff like that, and then mail those out. But now we've started to where we don't mail them out. Though what we do is send you in an email, send you the packet in an email, so we can do that. That does save us a little bit of money there, but still, the certificates and then mailing and time off from work. I mean, the class is not free. That $25 pays for that. Because I said when I first started that class, 15, 16, 17, 18 years ago, probably. Let's see, Corey was 12, 13. No, he was older than that. Maybe 14 or 15. I don't think he was about 12, 11 or 12. Um, yeah, about 11 or 12, maybe 13, somewhere around there. And he's 28 now. So you do the math. That's how long ago. I sat down at my computer, and how old is Corey? He's 28. I sat down at my computer and for 14 hours straight, I sat down and I said, you know what? I'm going to come up with a class booklet for this class that I've been doing all these years. Because before that, I didn't have the little booklet. I would just talk to people like a little seminar type thing. And I said, this needs to be a class setting. You need to be able to sit down. We need to be able to go over this stuff, like teaching it and learning it and instructing it and showing it and all that. I said, I need to be able to sit down. At the time, I was doing CPR and first aid and ACLS and all this stuff, and emergency childbirth, back injury prevention, in the emergency field, um, all kinds of stuff. I was teaching all kinds of stuff, and the reason, and then I loved doing that because I'd done it for years with Red Cross, and I said, I need to be able to do this CAPI, this paranormal thing, like I'm doing these classes, and so that's when I said, I'm gonna sit down now, I'm gonna figure this out. A couple hours, I'll have something popped out. 14 and a half hours later, I get up and had a final draft. That final draft went to two other people that were on the team. One was an editor by profession, and he went over it and pretty much chopped it to pieces and redid it. Grammar speaking. So 18 plus 11, 12 equals what? Certificate. Yeah, you get a certificate for the class, Tom. You didn't know that? We had talked about this, Thomas. You get a certificate after you do the investigation that you do after the class. You get a certificate. I said 18. I don't know if it was 18 years ago, Michelle. Why are we even talking about this? Okay, I will figure up exactly how many years ago it was. Let's see. Let's see. He is. Okay, it was 16 years ago. 16 years ago. Sorry, John. I'm in trouble now. It's gonna hit me. But yeah, it's gonna help some, especially with as many people as John's been throwing at me. He's amazing, guys. Y'all just don't know. John's been like the greatest gift of a blessing that we could ever imagine. He really has, and he came at a time that we needed somebody like him too. So John is just freaking phenomenal. But yeah, he's got a lot of people wanting to do this class. It's getting so many people are actually inquiring about the class. I don't know if we're going to be able to do all of them in one class or not. So we're going to have to kind of look at that. You can borrow him, but he's mine. Thank you. I will. I will accept that. I will borrow him. Absolutely. But yeah, this class is going to help, but it's not going to push us push us over the limit. Unfortunately, we could do two classes and it still wouldn't push us over the $1,000 limit because, like I said, we just don't make any money off these classes. What we need is, we need more sponsors. I still got back over the material. Yeah, that's actually why I used to didn't give those packets out like that. I used to make people, return them, but we did it. We gave them out this time because of the way we had to do it online. So I said, but I was gonna. My intention was is to have everyone send it back, um, but I said no. It'll actually work as a reference, and people can go back and look at stuff, as they, because I've heard stuff before. I've been like, doing a lecture or talking to someone or listening to something, and then all of a sudden it hit me, and I'll go back to my uh, that booklet and I'll look through it and say, and I'll read and I'll say, oh yeah, that's right, that's how that is. Okay, so yeah, it does help. I mean, it's a good thing to keep around. I've had people call me and say, hey, I lost my booklet from the class. Can you send me another one? And I always tell them, absolutely. I most certainly can't for $10 because I got to pay for the paper. I got to pay for the ink. I got to pay for all this stuff. And I'm sorry, y'all. I'm just not rich. I can't pay for everything. You guys to pay some. Fundraiser in like 2 weeks. Yeah, I'm hoping that helps. I'm hoping this fundraiser is going to throw us over the top. It's going to have to do a lot of the work, the bulk of the work. Um, but I'm hoping that fundraiser will throw us over the top. So nobody knows anywhere we can go. I mean, if you guys want to do an online for the people that can't make it, you know what? Whether they have Wi-Fi or not, why can't we just like do a live Facebook? Michelle, is that possible? Can we do Facebook Live? Not to be shared. Well, the thing is, Thomas, you guys pay for the class, and these two kittens are going nuts. You guys pay for the class, so it actually becomes yours. So if I mean, I can't. I would prefer you not share it because it's my own creation, but and I tell people during the class, I'm like, please don't share this with other people. I want them to patent it, and it's going to be part of my book, or it is part of my book, and I tell people all the time, don't. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's yours. So I mean, I can't stop you from doing that. So okay, so how does Shoney's in Wetumpka sound to everybody for the meet and greet on the 15th of next month? Uh, next, yeah, July 15th, meet and greet next month, Wetumpka Shoney's. How does that sound? Everybody down with that? Stop. I thought Facebook Live was how it was going down anyway. Well, we haven't talked about that, Michelle, so I didn't know. We can definitely do it on there. I didn't know if we are going to do it on there or on here or what. But yeah, Facebook Live is fine. It's perfect because I mean I can just use my phone for crying out loud. It can be done. What can be done? Tom? July 15th. Yep, July 15th. No, it's CAPI. Tom is in his own little world again. July 15th is a Monday. Oh, that doesn't work. John, did your wife just show you up? Did she? Yeah, if that's a Monday. That's a noble. I have to work on Mondays. I can't take Mondays off. July 13th is a Saturday. Let's look at this and see. I don't know if we want to go back or forward. Yeah, July 15th is a Monday. What are we thinking? 13 or 20? Facebook. Tom, I don't have a clue what you're saying, buddy. You said it can be done. No, it's CAPI. Facebook. Are you talking about it can be done on Facebook Live? And what does no, it's CAPI mean? I'm not following you, buddy. You gotta talk to me like I'm 5. I took off the 13th. Okay. Well, then you're doing this. I didn't say the 15th. Didn't he say the 15th? Or is that on me? It's probably on me. Tom or John doesn't make the mistakes. I do usually make the mistakes. So it's probably that's what it is. It's now he did say 15th, but yeah, 13th is fine. I don't know. Probably if you've already taken off. I mean, the class is only for CAPI, not to be shared. I got you. Okay. Though you were just throwing it out. You got to talk, man. These 2 words, random, out of the blue. You got to talk to me. And plus, you've already taken off, and you're pretty much hosting this because you're doing everything. You're doing the the demonstration of all the stuff and everything. So is Shoney's okay with everyone? Can everyone, can they pull that off? June 15th was a Saturday. Yeah, we wouldn't know it this month. I knew we wouldn't do it this month. Yeah, July 13th is a good idea. I think that's a good idea because that's a Saturday. It's the second Saturday. Hey, July's a 5 check month. Oh, September. Cool. So yeah. All right. Is that everybody clear on everything? How we're doing the class? If you've already taken the class but you want to sit in, you're more than welcome. Yeah, as long as we have a decent signal. We should I think I should. My I have Verizon and it's pretty freaking powerful. I've never had any issues out of it. So I think we should be good. I'll test it between now and then. If you bite my cord, I'm going to snap your little toes. Go. We should have a decent signal in Shoney's. I think we'll be fine. I know we will on my phone, so we can use it. I'm unlimited everything Verizon. I have no issues ever. So out in places like that. I think I've sat there and watched YouTube at that Shoney's before. Matter of fact, I don't think I have. I know I have. We've had a few meetings there that I was just not so totally into, so I was watching YouTube videos. Hard to make sense answering issues with the delay, right? It is hard. Sorry, y'all. I'm having to keep this cat. He keeps trying to, literally is biting my cords. That's all I need is for not to have a laptop cord because of dumb cat. So what do you guys think? Is that Hesso, you have to preempt me and let me know what your channel is about, what your channel is, before I can answer that question. Thank you for the save, John. Um, so if everybody's clear on that, we're good. I do video games and basketball stuff. Well, this is a paranormal channel, so, and I'm like so not in. You see the white? I think video games is the biggest waste of time in history of mankind. Not, no offense to you, Hessa. You're an awesome guy, I'm sure. I just think video games sucks. Too much of this and not enough work. People got to go to work. 5 p.m. July 13th, CAPI meet and greet. Yep. 5 p.m. sounds good to me. Very good. They got a buffet too. You know, I'm going to get stupid. Do you know what my spouse is doing at the moment? I'm almost scared to ask that question, but what is your spouse doing at the moment? My house is haunted. Sounds good. I think hotels in Wetumpka. Yeah, there's some nice hotels in Wetumpka, actually. It's very nice. There's one they just built, just opened it. Literally playing video games. Like I said, no offense to anyone who plays video games. I just don't know how y'all do it. I don't know how anybody can sit in front of a freaking video game for hours and hours and hours and hours. That's like the biggest freaking waste of time. I don't understand how I can do it. My sons did it. They still do. They still like to play. I mean, but there's no way. Yes, Hesso, I'll do that. Absolutely. I haven't found the right game. There is no right game to make me sit there for hours and play it. I promise you that. I guarantee you that. Some of that stuff y'all play is just like the stupidest stuff I've ever seen in my life. Oh, he got this card, so now he can awake the dragon, and the dragon can walk through this world with him, and he can kill people with his swords. Stupid. And I do enjoy the strategic war type games, where it's the first person shooter. I hope I'm saying that right. I do like enjoy that, but I don't never play online. I always just play against the computer. This whole online crap is just stupid to me. And this Fortnite is like the stupidest crap ever. I guess that's the old coming out in me. I played video games at 30 years. Yeah, exactly. Whenever I was a child, I got this Annabelle doll, and my house been haunted since. Hey, so you messing up your chances of getting me to subscribe to your channel, buddy. You're messing them up. Coming here with BS. You know you straight up BS with that. What kind of doll is it? Tell me that. What does it look like? I know you didn't get Annabelle because I know where Annabelle's at, and she ain't going nowhere. I promise you. But is there any other questions? Yeah. It's just a toy. Well, Annabelle was a toy too. I was just asking you, what does it look like? The doll for Anna that supposedly was haunted by um, Annabelle. I don't believe it was, but whatever. But it was a toy too. It was bought for her. Actually, it was bought for her on her 28th birthday. That's funny. Her mother thought it would be a nice gift. Okay, well, the one from the movie was not the Annabelle doll. It didn't even look like it. It was a completely different doll. So you're okay. It's not the doll. It may be your medication, but it's certainly not the doll. Unless there's another ghost. It's not an Annabelle. It's a Frederica. You never know. But yeah, Hesso. I hope I'm saying that right. Is it Hesso? Heso? Heso yet? YT? Whatever. I'm horrible at saying names. Good night, Michelle. Yeah, we're not the type of paranormals that whenever you come on and you say, "Hey, my house is haunted," and this, and this, and we jump all over it. We're kind of a bit skeptic. And when you led your announcement off with Annabelle, you kind of messed it up. See you next week, and then on the 13th. Absolutely, Michelle. Haunted by my ex. Oh well. I think we're all haunted by one of those. That's a demon that just keeps on giving. It just never goes away. This house is clear, except for your ex. All right, guys. Let's talk. I think everybody said they were good. Have you ever seen a ghost? Yes, I have seen a ghost. Absolutely. Um, I hadn't seen a ghost, I wouldn't be doing this. Time to get comfortable. I can't breathe when that button's done. Um, what I was talking about earlier uh, is the occult, um, and how it excuse me, how it affects the paranormal. Um, excuse me, y'all. Sorry. Uh, it affects us in good ways, um, and in bad. Good ways is one of the greatest things it did for us is that it brought paranormal out. Um, it brought us uh, out to. Y'all heard the old song? I was country when country wasn't cool. I was ghost hunter when ghost hunter wasn't cool. Um, big time not cool. Like asked to leave the church type stuff, you know. But it it did help us as bringing it out. That started in the mid '80s, a little bit in the '70s, but it was more pulp fiction type stuff in the '70s. But mostly in the late '80s, early to mid '90s is whenever it really started exploding for us. Um, there was I'm not even going to go into that because it just pisses me off. Anyway, the media, something happened, and the media kind of took over. The Ghostbusters movies did have a lot to do with it. They kind of sent the ball rolling, um, but there was other instances after that. Between that and the boom, the paranormal boom that happened, that pretty much raped the paranormal field. But networks started looking at this stuff, and they're like, "Wait a minute, uh, let's see where people are at on this. Let's do a pilot on this and see where we can, do this." And so they came up with the Transatlantic Paranormal Society, or TAPS, and they did a pilot, and it freaking exploded. Um, that was early to mid '90s, no, mid to late '90s, excuse me. And it exploded. It went nuts, and all their control panels, all their research, all their man on the street, all their Nelson reviews, everything, Nielsen, excuse me, everything pointed to this is the most amazing thing ever. It's going to explode. You got to do it, do it, do it, do it. So they did, and the rest is history. Uh, so the I'm going to try and sponsor after vacation. I don't want to commit and then be one of those who doesn't follow through. Oh, Katie, you're so sweet. Only if you're able to. If you're not able to, then okay. But yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. That last part, a commitment and then not doing it. Yeah, that sucks. But yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you very much. See if you're able to do it comfortably, and then if you're not, that's fine. But thank you. That's awesome. We will pray that you're able to after that. So, but it that's the way that it helped us because it really brought the paranormal out. Before that, uh, I would do, hey,
Where's your car?
huh?
The vehicle. Where's your vehicle
Outside. No, Michelle's got it
Where's hers?
at her mom's. Um, sorry, the producer stuck his head in, but it it helped us because before the paranormal boom there in the mid '90s, it I would do investigations, and people didn't want me to come to their house, and if they did want me to come, it was a lot of times they would want me to come, but they didn't want anybody to know about it, and it was really hard. I would get I've literally been ambushed by Christian soldiers, as they call themselves, literally ambushed, um, and tried to save my soul, I guess you would say. But that's the weirdos out there. But after this, after it started coming up, man, every bozo in the world wanted to come out here and do stuff. They wanted to investigate. There was teams popping up everywhere, man. It was just like pop, 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 everywhere. There was teams popping up. People that would watch an episode of Taps on television, and or that British show that came out right after Taps. I don't remember the name of it, but they would watch an episode and they're like, "Oh man, we got to go do this," and they would all of a sudden become these super big experts on investigating the paranormal. And the part where it started to go downhill really fast is whenever these yahoos got out there and started getting injured. There was cases where actually not only injured but killed. Um, there was a case where two teenage girls were investigating a cemetery and were raped and beaten. They weren't murdered, but they they left them for dead. Um, there was a case where a paranormal investigator, her son was killed. Um, there was trespassing everywhere, and all this. What happened was after this big paranormal boom, we get to the paranormal doom, where all of a sudden these teams were just like maniacs, and it was like becoming a huge issue. So much so that places like San Francisco, Savannah, Georgia, New Orleans, Louisiana, um, parts of Amarillo, and high energy places like Grand Canyon and Mount Rushmore, not Mount Rushmore, but Niagara Falls and places like that. Uh, Started coming up with all these different types of laws, and they're like, and even small town America was doing it too, because uh, we were at the time we were the resident paranormal team for CABA, the first state capital, the park out there, and we did all the shows there and the um, haunted history tours, and people had to come through us to be an investigate, and we usually told them no, unless we, and some of them we'd let come as guests and stuff like that. But what would happen is trying to get to the end of the day. I think I did experience paranormal. Not sure you have, though. Understand anybody experience. Oh, Tom, thank you. I love that whenever people give me feedback like that. That's awesome. I appreciate you saying that, and I'm glad that I could help you. But New Orleans, there's parts of New Orleans. There's cemeteries, there's private residences, and historic landmarks that if you're caught there with a flashlight and a digital recorder, you go straight to jail. You do not pass go. You do not collect $200. You just go straight to jail. I mean, there's places that and it's a trespassing charge. So I mean, it's payable up to a year in prison. I mean, it's desecration. If you go in there in some of these places and you just walk across the land, the sidewalk next to the cemetery with this equipment in your hands, then you can actually be charged for that. Savannah and New Orleans huge on that. Cahaba, if you're caught after dark in Cahaba Park with a flashlight, that's all you got to have. You don't have to have all the other equipment. You just got a flashlight on you, which is what you would have if you were walking through the woods. And there's places out there that you can actually go onto their land without knowing it. So it kind of sucks. But because of vandalism and idiots, they had to do it. And a team that was supposed to be like the best team in Alabama, and he put out, I almost said his name, I'm not going to say his name, but he put out a few books that went down because it wasn't real paranormal. He was one of those teams that they watched a few episodes of Taps and thought they were just badasses, and they wore long trench coats and just, I mean, it was ridiculous, trust me. But I said his name, a lot of people would recognize it, so I'm not going to do that. But they were arrested one night because they went out to Cahaba and had all this equipment, ghost hunting equipment. They said, "We're not ghost hunting, we're just visiting," and they're like, "We don't care. You're trespassing. We don't care if you're wearing tutus and tennis shoes, or if you're investigating the paranormal. We don't care. You're going to jail." And they did. They went to jail. And not only that, people were actually getting hurt as well. Um, Not assaulted or raped like some of the other ones, but they'd go into these old abandoned homes and factories. Excuse me. And step on these rotten floors and stuff like that, and would fall through and stuff like that. They didn't have permission to be there, and they would trespass, and all this stuff was happening. And so that's whenever the pulp, the occult of the paranormal really started breaking our back. Um, we had to jump through so many hoops and fight through so much red tape and gain trust that had been destroyed and make friends where none were willing, and build a clientele and a fan base where people hated what you did. In Selma, Alabama, which one of the largest historic district in the southeast, probably one of the top 10 famous, or actually it's the top 5 most famous cities in the world, in the United States. And because of the civil rights and Civil War and all that. But the two culture clash, y'all heard that. But the between Rick and Bubba Radio and uh, two teams that I'm not going to name, because I know at least one of them. I think both of them are still going, but I know at least one of them. It's the same one that I was talking about earlier, the trench coat guys that was out at the Cabo. But they went in and did this thing with the radio station. It was 30 Days of Halloween, I think it was. And they just made all this stuff up, and they lied about stuff, and they lied about people, and edited stuff in and out of stuff, and it just destroyed people's faith in Selma about the paranormal. And so CAPI, we had to not only climb on the camel by ourselves, but once we got up there, we had to feed him and take care of him too. We couldn't just ride him. So I mean, it was horrible what we had to go through, just because of this stuff that had already happened. And that's what happens whenever it was a great thing that the occult side of the paranormal came in and brought all of this to light, and people were starting to open their eyes. A lot of people in the paranormal didn't like that, but I did. I was like, hell's yeah, man! I'm starting to get investigations. I mean, people are wanting to join the team now. I mean, it's more open. Um, Southern Baptist societies that said it was the soul of the devil are now calling me to come and investigate their house. I mean, I was falling in love, and then, but I knew the downside was coming too. I knew that was just a high, and I knew it was going to happen, and it did. Whenever all this negativity stuff started happening, so that's when, hey, you need something.
Oh, I didn't know you were in the middle of a rant.
Rant.
Missing 411 has a new documentary out, just came out.
Oh, do they?
It's called The Hunted. It's talking about hunters that go missing.
Oh yeah, I saw that. I haven't watched it, but I saw the little thumbnail for it.
I knew that they liked it too, so I thought
Yeah.
I'd let them know.
Absolutely, thank you. That was producer Corey. He was telling me that Missing 411 has a new video out called The Hunted. So y'all go check that out after the show or tomorrow, whenever you can. Check it out. It's called The Hunted. Um, y'all know our Missing 411 thing is just one of my favorite things ever. That's an amazing, amazing series. So y'all go check that out. David Pilates, Missing 411. All right. So this thing that built us up and made us so worldwide, and people were like really wanting to be with us now, and like be seen with us. And hey, I had CAPI come and investigate my home. You should do the same thing. And the elites were inviting us to stuff, and we did all kinds of public appearances, and the newspaper came and did a big story on us, and we were offered television spots that we turned down, thank God. Offered radio spots that would air only in October, so we said no. um, and all this stuff was happening, and we were like, this is great, but then all the negativity started coming out. Well, these people were getting killed and injured and breaking the law and assaulting people and raping people, and I mean, it was just becoming crazy. And so that kind of made the downfall of it. So people was starting to get out of it, and the teams were still there, but the teams were better. So I mean, if you kind of look at it, the downside of the paranormal cult actually helped us out too, because it's a slippery slope there, man. It'll help or hurt you, Just depends on how much sand you got in this one and how much lead you got in this one and which one go. So it's crazy how it just kept hurting, and we're like, oh, okay, well, there's the end. It was good while it lasted, but and it's still going on now, guys. I mean, there's still paranormal shows on television. They're all crap, but they're still there. Um, when I vet a team, like not long ago, I don't remember his name. I think it was may have been Chris. I don't know if I may be wrong about that, but he wanted us. I think he was in Connecticut, and he had this problem, or Colorado, somewhere. I don't know. I think it was Connecticut, and he had this problem, and he wanted us to help him really, 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 really bad. Well, he sent me some pictures, and I think I've seen the pictures before. And then when I told him to send me the address, he never got back with me. He never once. I mean, I'm still waiting on the address. So I kind of think there may have been something to that, but I don't know. Maybe he found some help or whatever, and it is real, but I don't know. But once I did confront him and say, hey, I've seen this picture before. I need the address. Send me the address to your house so that I can vet your team. And that's the reason why I wasn't doing it just to test him. I was doing it to test him too, but the biggest reason I did that, asked him to send me the addresses, because I was vetting a team for him. I was trying to get a team. I knew we couldn't go to Connecticut, and so I was trying to get a team together somewhere in that area, and that's what we do. If someone contacts us, because we get contacts from all over the United States, we get contacts from all over the world. I mean, we've been contacted out of England before. So if someone contacts us and we can't go, then my next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to say, okay, where are you? Tell me where you're at exactly. Tell me your address. And once I get the address, I start looking for teams. And when I get about 10, 15, 20 teams up, then I start vetting them, and I find that out. And sometimes I have to even call them to ask them a few questions. And then whenever I find a team, and I've made some pretty good sister teams doing that. We've got a friendship team in Mobile because of that. We actually have two in Mobile. We have a couple in Florida because of that. that we can call if we ever get something down there and say, hey, we know we're coming down and doing this. You guys want to get together and go? Can you help us out with this? Whatever. That's what sister teams do. But so it's always great to have a sister team. Trust me. But you really got to vet these teams because there's some wackos out there. So some weirdos, big time. Unfortunately, this is paranormal, so it attracts the paranormal. So it's just something you have to deal with. But let's see where we're at. I almost had permission to go to the hospital grading. Oh, that'd be cool. When's the hospital stay away? That's okay, Donna. Welcome back. Yeah, if you ever do get in there, Grady, let me know, Tom. I definitely want to come with you. Absolutely. But I think what happened is we had so many explosions and then so many letdowns and then so many explosions and then so many letdowns and then some stuff that looked like it was going to destroy it, but it actually helped it out. The way this last explosion where people were starting to get, they went on and they found out this guy was a liar. This guy faked stuff. The guy wearing the baseball cap on the warship was actually a producer that I knew. There was one that was good. What's his name? I don't know. I can't remember his name. John was teasing me about him the other day. I think he swindled a bunch of money out of people. I mean, all this stuff, and then it starts to die, starts to kill it out. But the really great thing about the paranormal is it doesn't matter. They can come in and destroy it, and all the paranormal shows can be taken off television. They're not. There's still quite a bit of them on, but all of them can come in and just be taken completely out. But the one thing that the early to mid 90s explosion of interest in the paranormal did for us is it opened people's eyes. The paranormal was no longer that cheesy magician on the Lawrence Welk show anymore. I mean, this was something that was, something's there. People started seeing this and they're starting to ask questions, and that's one of the things that it did for us. People akin the evidence boom to the fact that more people are paying attention. I akin it more to the fact that our technology is starting to catch up with our research. Before, y'all know I've told you a million times before, when I started out, I had a pencil and a pad and a reel-to-reel recorder and a camcorder the size of a suitcase, and a flashlight. And my first EMF detector, I thought I was the coolest thing on the freaking planet, But the equipment kind of held you back. And so now that technology boomed in the 80s and 90s, and now in the 2000s too, in the 21st century, I mean, it's just exploded for us. And it's, yeah, Donna, don't, bless her heart. She's so awesome. Talk to John on a PM about that. John, let's do that on that same one that you were going to set up for the class. I think that would be best. If that's okay with you, if you think you can keep them separate, or I know you don't want anything to do with money. You already told me that, and neither do I. That's why I want to do it that way. That way we can just store it. So, but yeah, and that way neither one of us have to touch the money or anything like that. But anyway, la 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 la. Donna, that is John's email. Email him and talk to him about that, if you would, please. Thank you so much, Donna. She's so awesome. Thank you. You're a guardian angel. You're the only one that stepped up, Donna. We love you. But anyway, you're not the only one that stepped up. Other people have stepped up and helped out too. But anyway, the present result of these hindrances and accomplishments and magnifying the public interest and knowledge on it is what we have today. Um, you still find teams everywhere. You call Birmingham. Do y'all know in Jefferson County there's over 150 teams, paranormal teams in Jefferson County? Just Jefferson County. Yeah, it's the biggest county in the state. It is a big county, but still 150 teams, not people, not 150 people that are into the paranormal. Okay, 150 teams that are into the paranormal. Now, a team means there's at least 2 people. So we know that makes it at least 300 people. But it's not 300 because for some reason, a lot of teams dropped my top to my Coke, and that bugs me. I'm always scared a gnat will go in my Coke if I don't put the lid back on. There's probably not even a gnat in here. I killed one earlier. I haven't been bothered by one. So, but anyway, and now it's a cat toy. Yeah, if they'd been over here, they're all sleeping. Now they done ran and jumped so much that ready. Sorry about that. All right. We sit now at a place where people are either we sit now where people are either at a place where they either like the paranormal or they don't like the paranormal. There's no more of the people that used to say, "I want you to come, but I don't want anybody to know about it. You guys talk about this." And then when we do set it up, we just had one recently. As a matter of fact, Donald can protest to this, that said, "Well, we kind of want you guys to come, but we're scared it's going to make it worse. And if it doesn't make it worse, I think we're just going to move. I think we're just going to just move." And I could always tell whenever, and especially when I was talking to her, voice to voice on the phone, not just reading what she was saying, but voice to voice. I could tell that it was not just the fact that she was worried about it getting worse. It was a lot. It had a lot to do with it getting out. So that's where we're at right now. we're at that point where uh, people are either into the paranormal or they are not into the paranormal. And the people that aren't into the paranormal, there's not a whole heck of a lot you can do to change them. They're just gonna always be. We've had two to do that, yeah. And so, I mean, they're just always going to be those skeptic. Not, I don't really want to say skeptics because CAPIs, we are skeptics. I'm super skeptic whenever I go on a new investigation, whenever I take on a new client. I mean, I'm super, super skeptic. I think you have to be in this field because you become closed minded and gullible if you don't become skeptic, if you don't continue to be skeptic. Um, but it's, I don't know, it's kind of refreshing, um, but it's also kind of disheartening because the refreshing part about it is you know that there's people out there that you have that chance to show the real paranormal to. You know, I would rather teach someone in one of our classes. I would rather teach someone uh, it's not like or dislike, it's understanding. I would agree with that statement 20 years ago, Tom. I really would. Because then it was people were so ignorant to the paranormal that they just had to believe whatever Sister Rosa down the street told them, you know, between their readings that week. Um, Now people are more educated about it. Paranormal is more of a well, in their eyes, it's more of a hobby to people. People ask me all the time, why would you choose paranormal as your hobby? I always tell them I wouldn't. There's no way I would choose paranormal as a hobby. It would be a horrible hobby. It'd be like golf, horrible. And I like golf, y'all. Don't get me wrong, but it's very expensive. And I mean, it'd be like you know, you'd have to be almost a moron to choose paranormal as your hobby. And they're like, well, isn't that what you do? You know, you have a full time job and then you go do your hobby. And I'm like, no, I have a full time job because I don't get paid to do what I love. And my full time job pays for my kids and my wife and my house and my cars and my food and water and internet and all this stuff, you know, I mean, that we've grown accustomed to. That's what my full time job is there for. I mean, that's why I work my ass off is to pay all the bills so that my family can enjoy things. I don't get to enjoy most of it. I get except for this, you know, but still, that's my job is to do that, is to provide for my family, and that's what I do. That's why I work my tail off, and that's what I do. But my hobby is, you know, my hobby has been motorcycles. My hobby has been martial arts. My hobby has been knives. My hobby has been martial art weapons. I mean, those are hobbies. You know, I even played softball for a little while. Played baseball for a little while. We used to play weekend warrior football. I mean, you know, those were hobbies. I like doing those things. You know, but the paranormal to me has never been a hobby. The paranormal to me has been it's my job. It's what I do for a living. I mean, not financially because it doesn't pay me anything. It could have. Do you have something to add? Okay. Well, I agree with you. um, but it's never been my hobby. It's been my. It's been what I do. That's you know. People ask me, "What do you do for a living?" Well, I work for an agency, and we do you know mostly process serving and stuff like that. I piss people off. I serve people papers for a living. You know, that's what I do for a living. Oh, but if anyone says, "Have you ever chosen a career?" I'd be like, "Yeah, I'm a paranormalist. I'm a parapsychologist. That's what I do. That's my career. That's my life. That's what I do." And you know, that's what. Unfortunately, I don't get paid for it, so I have to have a subsidized payment somewhere. I have to be able to pay for stuff. Stuff. As Gerald Carlin says, we all buy these little boxes. We call them houses. And the only reason we have them is to put our stuff in there. And that's what I want. I want my stuff somewhere. So I have to work. So people look at it as a hobby, and because clients tell me all the time, they're like, well, why would you even consider this as a hobby? And I always tell them, I most certainly wouldn't. It's a horrible hobby. You're never going to get anything financial out of it as much as you put in it. And some people will never accept your evidence. So you got to be para crazy to do this. But we are, and we love it. So, and at the end of the day, it's people are. Can you imagine Johnny dressed up and acting like Zach Baggins? You know what you can do? You're Zach Baggins. I guess if you don't understand or accept that it exists, then it's a mute point for me. It really is, Tom. I mean, and the people that in the South, I'm telling you this now, y'all, you can believe it if you want to, but if you can get one person, especially a male, um, and get him, and if you ask him in mixed company or a crowd and say, you know, what do you think about ghosts? Tell you, oh man, ghost out, y'all crazy, ain't no ghost out there. Y'all ghosted. You took too many dadgum shots before you went to bed. That's what it is. You need to get off them volumes or whatever. You need to. That's your problem. You ain't no such thing as no ghost. There's a such thing as you seeing things, but ain't no such thing as no ghost. Get that same person alone and get them some truth serum and ask them the same thing again and say, "Oh, I believe it goes." I've seen this happen so many times. People in a crowded room, fire base or the ambulance base, we'd sit around and talk about this stuff, and because people knew what I did, and they would bring it up all the time, especially if a new person came along. Oh, do you know what Johnny does when he's not here? What he investigates hauntings. He's a paranormal guy. And they're like, what? And so, of course, that would start the whole conversation, and we'd sit there talking. And of course, there's these big brawly firefighters or veteran EMTs, and they're always saying, excuse me, they're always saying how much nonsense it is, and oh, he just does that because he's bored. You know, that's just stupid. There's no such thing as ghosts. You die, you dead. And so that you either go to heaven. People say you in the South, they say you go to heaven or hell when you die. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Or you just when you die, you get shut off like a light switch and everything's over with. There's no afterlife, no nothing. It's just gone, like you stepped on a cockroach. And uh, no matter what their views on that is I'm telling y'all get these people alone. These people that tells you you're nuts and there's no such thing as ghosts or anything like that, especially in the South. You get them alone. You ask them that same question. 90% of the time, the reason why they don't, and I told a client this not long ago while we were investigating um, a building, and someone that occupied that building for quite a while um, told this client uh, that he didn't believe any of this stuff. As a matter of fact, this guy owned the building, and the guy we that was our client that we were with that night was a curator, and he and maintenance man and all around journeyman. But he told the boss, the owner of the business and the building, said, "I don't believe in all that stuff. Y'all go ahead and do it. You can do it if you want to, but I don't believe in any of that stuff. That's silliness. That's just nothing but silliness." And I told him, I said, I guarantee you, you get him in this building alone, and you watch him on camera, and something happened, and I swear this guy will pee himself. Because those people that say if they just say, "Oh no, I don't believe in ghosts," whatever. But I mean, if it's just that, but if they get into it and say, uh, "Oh, I don't believe in that," and then they'll give you reasons why they don't believe in it, and they'll take you down this rabbit hole of why this can't happen, and this has to happen, and this is what God said, and this is what mainstream religion says, and this is what the TV show where the guy died and saw the light, but he came back and said, and all that stuff. Yeah. Those are the ones that are scared out their mind. All right. They don't give two rats rears about being skeptic. I promise you. All they care about is staying as far away from it as possible. And they'll tell you, you just keep that stuff away from me. I don't want to do that. That's craziness. That's silliness. Y'all go over and just be silly if you want to. That guy is going to piss his pants if something ever happens. I promise you. Because he is scared. He is scared, scared, scared. But, can you imagine? Yeah, I already read that. I guess you know. Yeah. Oops. You know, I'm a retired attorney. No, I didn't actually know that, Tom. I didn't know you were an attorney. I don't guess I ever knew what you did. I knew you were retired, but I didn't know you were an attorney. I think so much less of you now. I'm just kidding. I still love you. And let's get to go fast. You know that's why I joined the ambulance. That's why I first got on the got on the ambulance and the fire truck. Not the police car. I got the police car because that's what I wanted to do all my life. But the ambulance and fire truck, I got on there because I like the lights and sirens. And that would be probably 75% of the people that you ask on an ambulance why they got on there. They'll tell you every time. The lights and sirens. I mean, you still like to help people, but yeah, that's usually the reason. Ambulance go fast. But what I'm trying to get at with the whole, I don't believe in ghosts and they're really secret closet scaredy cats, is that's the the mentality that we have now on the paranormal. Uneducated people. I don't like to say ignorant. I just like to say uneducated or left behind people. Um, they're at that point to where all this says that it could happen, all this says that it can't happen, and then there's something in the middle, and they don't know what that middle part is. And they probably never will, and we probably never will. But the the whole point is what media and the occult essence of any type of research field. Um, because if you, no matter what your research is, you can have an occultism to that research. That just follows it to a, I mean, physics. Oh my gosh, have you guys ever like just sat and watched a physicist? I mean, these people are occultic. They really are. They really get into that stuff. Paranormalists, we are too. We get into this stuff. I mean, we're very passionate and occultic whenever it comes to that. We take something and we run with it. And thank God that there are still so many teams and so many people out there that know the paranormal, the real paranormal, not the media paranormal, not the Hollywood paranormal, not the television paranormal, and certainly not the Zach Baggins paranormal. They know the how to do it, and that's why CAPI does what it does. Is the invest like I've said before, and you guys have heard me say this, and you're going to hear me say it another 50 million times probably if you listen to me for another year, two. um, the investigation is what we do. That's why we do what we do is for the investigation. We need that evidence. We thrive on that evidence. That's what we get. That's my high. That's when I get a piece of evidence, like the evidence. There's only four people on. Everybody's adults, right? That piece of evidence we got him. We Wetumpka with the guy in the hotel saying, "Can you not fucking hear me, dude?" That was like meth to me. I was like a crack addict I mean, and not only me, but others on the team too. That's our drug. That's what we thrive for, man. That's what we're in this for is to get that. And all of that is great. That's why we do what we do. That's what got me interested in the paranormals. Because whenever I had my experience at 8 years old, I wanted to know more. I wanted to know why that was able to happen and why nobody else reacted and other stuff. But it triggered that in me that said, I want to do this. And the investigation part of it, once I started studying it and doing everything I was doing, I, I was like, okay, the investigation part is that's the gold. That's what we do. That's why I want to do this is to investigate and get more of this evidence. I want all the evidence that I can possibly get. I want it all. You can't have any. It all belongs to me. I want it. I want it. I want it. I want it. And then once I saw the way the paranormal was going, whenever that big boom started happening, in the paranormal interest, through the media and Hollywood and television and blah blah blah. The conception of modern day paranormal, I saw the avenue it was taking, and it was like breaking my heart. I was like, this sucks, and these people are falling for it, and so that's whenever CAPI decided that we wanted to educate, and that's what we do now. And we want people to know because you don't have to make shit up to do this, guys. You really don't. You don't have to make anything up. Just get out there and do it. To me, it's stupid to go out and kiss your wife and kids goodbye at 5 o'clock in the morning and put your hat on and your overalls and your jumpsuit and your deer scent and your deer urine, and you got your gun and your bow and your tree stand, and you spend all this money to do this, and you go out and get in your deer truck and you go out to the woods, and then you sit out there long enough to eat your breakfast, and then you go down to a diner down the road and meet up with some buddies and have coffee and pie all day, and then at the end of the day you go down and purchase some deer meat from the processing plant and go home and tell everybody how you killed this beautiful deer, or you go to the swap meet and buy the deer head and put it on your wall. And the paranormal is like that because people do that all the time. They'll go buy this ghost on that they can mount on their wall and say, "Look what I did. Look what I captured. Look what This is my evidence. And this is what happened when we went to this place, and this is what happened when we went to." And it's all bull. And to me, it's like every so often in the state of Alabama, the state game, fish and game will open up deer season to where there's no limits. Is that because we really hate deer? No, it's because their population is growing so much they're becoming a nuisance. Those things breed like rats, man. I'm not kidding you. And so every now and then they'll open limits up and they'll just tell hunters, "Hey, y'all go out, get us. You no longer can only you're only allowed one a day. Well, we're going to let you have three this year. Or we're going to let you hunt in this area this year. Or we're going to let you bait this." I don't think they ever let you bait, but you can put out green fields and stuff like that. And they'll take restrictions away from that because the population is getting so much. They're looking back and they're saying like we've got like 60 deer caused accidents. So the paranormal's the same way. There's so much out there. I mean, you don't have to lie about it. Just pick up your gun, look through your scope, do your job, and capture it. Because when you pull the trigger and you obtain that evidence, it's the greatest feeling in the world, and you don't have to lie about anything. CAPI doesn't have to lie about anything. We've got evidence that will blow your freaking mind. So we don't have to lie about anything. I got a guy cussing me out in a hotel. We've got little girls asking where their mommy is. You know, we've got enough evidence to where skeptics can't even touch us. I mean, so you don't have to do that. You don't have to make stuff up or lie or anything like that or give the paranormal a bad name. Just go out and do it. I've seen people that will work harder at not working than they would have if they had just did their job. I see it all the time. I see people in the paranormal that work harder. There's that Matt back. I thought I killed him. I know I killed him. This is his brother. He's pissed. He's back for revenge. But I think I got him. I don't know. But get out there, have a good time with it, educate yourself as much as possible. Don't just educate yourself, but educate your fellow man too. You know, if you don't feel safe doing it, then or knowledgeable enough doing it, then send him our way, and we'll gladly show him. All right. I'm not saying that to make any money either, okay? Because we don't make any money off that. I can't stress that enough. The class does not pay us anything. We usually lose, especially when it was a big class. This class, oh boy. But hey, that's fine. We're gonna do other things. Dun, dun, dun. All right, let me catch up here. And then at the end of the day, things happen or why things. All right, happens has a reason. Normal or paranormal, absolutely. And it's our job to get in there and figure out which one it is, and being honest when it's normal and excited when it's not. So I think I'm sitting at Waffle House looking at cracked. Experience it, it didn't. If you see, feel it. If you see, feel it, experience it, it did not. It did. Yeah, I agree. I think I know where you're going with that, and you're absolutely right. Um, and you know what? If anyone else doesn't believe it, and you didn't get any evidence, there's been investigations that I've done. I've talked about them on here, as a matter of fact, the old hospital. Um, there's been investigations that I've been on that I didn't receive any type of verifiable or hard, what we call hard evidence. I didn't have anything. I didn't have any UEPs. I didn't have uh, anything on video. I didn't have any experiences that were me and another person experienced at the same time. But you know what I did have? I had personal experience. I saw stuff. I felt stuff. I smelt stuff. Someone was able to get me out of a situation that I shouldn't have been in. It was out of stupidity and friggin' hard headedness um, that I was even in the situation, um, investigating where I was and how I was and by myself and all this. But someone was able to get me out of that. I don't want to say someone, but something was able to get me out of that just by a scent. It gave me a scent. I will not elaborate on that, so don't ask me to. That's mine. But it gave me a scent, and I knew when I smelt it, I needed to get out of there. And I felt that as I was leaving there, I felt that that was the decision I should have made. Had I made an alternate decision, then I probably wouldn't be sitting here today. And that entity was able to tell that and recognize what was going on seconds before I did, and was able to tell me. So, Dick Clark, you are a complete freaking idiot. I mean, seriously? Is this what you do? I mean, you're just sadly stupid. You're not just stupid, you're sadly stupid. So let me see. We got a new way of doing this. Oh, this is so cool. Okay, now let's cut off his head. Can't do anything, Dick. Sorry, guys. Give me a second. We're fixing to end anyway. I just wanted to get him blocked before. Just by the first word that he said out of in his little rant that I don't think you guys even got to see, I knew he was just a complete ignorant piece of crap. So so let's do this. He says he's got all these channels. Let's do this. Boom, shakalaka. Thank you. There's all your channels. It's got to be hard work to be that stupid. It's got to be. To be that ignorant, it's got to be hard. But anyway, guys, it's been over 2 hours. I am getting one of my headaches has been coming on for the last few minutes. I'm going to go ahead and call it. Thank you guys for hanging out with me tonight. I had an awesome time. Um, Idiot trolls didn't come up until at the very end. So uh, if you're on and you haven't yet, go ahead and like the video for me, subscribe, hit the notification bell. We're on every Sunday night at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. And we have a lot of fun talking about the paranormal and fellowshipping. Love you guys as always. Remember, pray about it, talk about it, seek your heart. If you can, go ahead and give us a sponsorship um, or a one-time help, whatever. But either way, thank you guys for watching. We love you very, very much. Wouldn't do it without you. Couldn't do it without you. And we will see you guys next week. Actually, I might. You guys keep your eyes open because there may be an extra little pop-up video this week. So I'm working on it. But I got something I want to talk about. But love you guys. We will see you guys later. Next Sunday, maybe. But y'all have a paranormal week, and we will always, always, as always, always, we love you. Good night.